Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited. Second Arsenal of Democracy to take flight over Washington, D.C. Zenith's kit-building workshops return to the Sebring Sport Aviation Expo. And is tipping your flight attendant acceptable? How one U.S. airline has added this option to your bill. Welcome to your Wednesday edition of Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Skylar Vanell. Our top story today: the Arsenal of Democracy Executive Planning Committees announced they are planning a second Arsenal of Democracy flyover that will take place on Friday, May 8th of 2020. The flight will commemorate the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. Aero-News reporter Madison Tromler has the story.
As part of a two-day celebration in the nation's capital, the flyover will occur at the same time as a ceremony for veterans at the National World War II Memorial. There will be 24 separate, historically sequenced warbird formations flying overhead. These will represent the war's major battles. Nearly 100 vintage warbirds of various types are expected to participate. Aircraft are being provided by multiple organizations and individuals whose mission is to preserve these historic artifacts. The Commemorative Air Force will provide a fighter, bomber, and transport aircraft. The Dakota Territory Air Museum, Fighter Factory, Friends of DOC, and Fagan Fighters have confirmed their commitment of multiple aircraft, as well as many individual warbird owners. For Aero-News, I'm Madison Tromler.
Some of the historical aircrafts you can see will include the P-40 Warhawk, the P-38 Lightning, P-51 Mustang, and many, many others. Coming up after the break, we'll take you around the patch.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
A new ASTM international standard will provide guidance in evaluating aircraft alterations. ASTM International's Aircraft Systems Committee approved the standard, which will soon be published as F3361. ASTM International member Dale Sheed said the new standard will help people who need to determine whether changes to be certified aircraft should be characterized as major or minor. Any major alterations will require approval of the FAA. And any minor alterations only require data that is deemed acceptable to the FAA. The FAA has recognized the Aerospace ASTM's National Center for Aerospace and Transportation Technologies Aircraft Electronics Technician Certification as equivalent to formal training when showing eligibility for the issuance of a repairman certificate. This is in a response to an October 2018 petition filed by the Aircraft Electronics Association. The California regional carrier California Pacific Airlines has temporarily suspended all of its flights to and from Carlsbad, California. This comes after what the company is citing a nationwide pilot shortage. CPA posted on their Facebook page that they are in the process of training new pilots that will allow them to relaunch their services soon. The company apologized for the inconvenience and said that they look forward to flying again soon. All January flights will be refunded. A Vermont man has been convicted by a federal jury in the U.S. District Court for knowingly and willfully serving as an airman without a certificate. Angelo Efthymiatos of Sudbury, Vermont, was the pilot of a Piper aircraft on April 10th of 2018. Back in 2014, the man had his certificate revoked by the FAA after he was convicted in federal court of using an aircraft to transport over 50 kilograms of marijuana. The FAA has permanently revoked the airman's certificate and will reject any future pilot certificate applications from him. That wraps up today's trip around the patch. The Zenith Aircraft Company is having their two-day hands-on kit aircraft building workshop at the Sebring Sport Aviation Expo. Participants will build and assemble their Zenith aircraft rudder tail selection from a standard kit. The workshop space is limited and prior registration is required. The event takes place January 23rd through the 26th. Coming up after the break, should you tip your flight attendant? We'll have more on how Frontier Airlines is taking it a step further.
The dream is real, a truly affordable personal jet aircraft. The Subsonics Personal Jet Kit is priced at only $42,000. Kit plus engine is still under $100K. Add instruments, upholstery, and paint and you're flying. It's time to put your money where your bucket list is. Learn more at sonicsaircraft.com.
Welcome back. When eating out, it's standard practice in the U.S. to tip your waitress. But now Frontier Airlines allows you to tip your flight attendant? Frontier Airlines is asking passengers to tip its flight attendants when they collect money for snacks and drinks. The Association of Flight Attendants CWA International President Sarah Nielsen said in a release that tipping has been on board at Frontier Airlines for nearly 3 years. A Frontier spokesperson said that when the program was put into place, tips were shared equally among all crew members. But Nielsen said that tips passengers had left for the cruise were never received. And now a new policy has been put into place to make sure flight attendants receive those tips. As of January, flight attendants will earn individual tips. As for the thoughts on this issue, Nielsen stressed how Frontier needs to step up and pay aviation's first responders with a wage that recognizes their critical safety role on board. Well, that wraps up today's show. If you have a story suggestion, go ahead and send us an email at news-spy@aero-news.net. From all of us here at Airborne Unlimited, thanks for watching, and we'll see you back on Friday for more Airborne Unlimited.